Hi there, crafty friends. Welcome and thank you for joining me. My name is Melissa, and today I thought we would make 4 cards using Pinkfresh Studios 4 Seasons die and stencil set. I love that all of our dies are connected. That just makes it so easy. And then we've got a 5-piece stencil set here, and each stencil is marked. We've got the number that the stencil is up in the corner. Then we've got winter, fall, summer, and spring. And that just makes it super easy to decide what colors to use. And then also on the back, there is a little sample here that they've kind of shown you the colors that they are using. We are going to change ours up just a little bit today. I am just going to make sure that my paper and my stencil are even on the bottom, and then I'm going to add some tape, and then we will start stenciling. Now you can see that our sky area is first here, so I will be using sky blue for that. We are using a lot of colors today. So I will have everything listed and linked in the description below. And if you could please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. I would appreciate it. I noticed that my views have gone way down lately, and I'm not real sure why. So please like and comment. And I think that's a little bit dark, but I think we'll be okay. I think it might fade a little bit. And then you can see we've got triangles here. Those triangles are meant to help you line up the stencils when you moved on to the next. So I'm just going to color those in, and then I am going to color in my sky areas. So we've got all our sky colored in, and then this little bit down here on summer, that is sand. So I am going to be using warm buff for that. And I don't want it too terribly dark, but I do want a little bit of color down there. So I'm going to make sure that I tap off on my stencil and then color in that area. And there is a starfish on there. That is just so cute. So now we've got stencil number 2. I am just going to tap that on my work surface, and I can see that those triangles are lined up perfectly. I can adjust a little bit if I need to, because I can see here where I've got other parts of the scene that are coming in. And that looks perfect. So I will tape it down. And then it looks like we've got our snow up here. We've got the top of a tree. We've got some grass. We've got our water. So let's start with our snow. For my snow, I will be using Misty Coast. I don't want the image to be entirely blue. On the sample, they've got the sky or the snow kind of blue, but I want my mountaintops and my snow to be white. So I'm just going to change that up with Misty Coast and just give a little bit of highlight in there for the snow. Then we've got some grass and part of a tree. For the grass, I think I'm going to use citron and a little bit of grassy knoll. I don't want it quite to be brown yet, like for fall. So for our tree, let's use a little persimmon and clementine. Then for my water in my beach scene, I will be using waterfall. Then we've got spring over here, and we've got part of a rainbow. I'm thinking I want to do my rainbow in yellow, orange, and pink. And it looks like this is the first arch of our rainbow. So let's make that yellow. For that, I will be using sunshine. I used grassy knoll for my grass in my spring scene. Now for stencil number 3, let's start on winter. For my winter, I think I want my road to be really dark, so I am using storm. And my mountains, I'm going to use a little bit lighter of storm. So we're going to get most of that ink off of that brush, and then we will add it to our mountains. and our trees. Now we're moving on to our fall scene. I will be doing the trees and the grass the same way I did for the other stencil. So I used sunshine for my sun. I've got turquoise for my water. I used some grassy knoll and olive for my grass. And then I've got clementine there in my rainbow. So now we can move on to stencil number 4 already. For my tree trunks, I will bring in gathered twigs. And I'm going a little heavy there. And then I will also use gathered twigs for my trees. Now I'm going to move on to my mountain, and I think we're just going to use more of the blues, but maybe a little bit lighter. For the rolling hills in my summer and spring scene, I used olive. Then I used persimmon for my starfish, and then for the leaves on my tulips, I used evergreen. And that is coming along so pretty. We've got stencil number 5 here with just a few more little details. And I think I want my little bush here to be this citron and grassy knoll, but I'm going to make it a little bit more grassy knoll. So I used evergreen on my summer scene for the branches of the leaves. And then I've got citron and olive for my little bush here. I used some more of the blue. I used sparkling rose on the other portion of my rainbow. But now I want to do my tulips all different colors. Well, I'm going to use the same colors that we used on the rainbow. So I just need to do a little bit of masking and fill those in, and that came out so cute. Now all we have to do is die cut and start putting our cards together. And so when you use the die adds a lot of stitching marks, which gives so much detail. It's just beautiful. And when you line up the die, you line up those triangles that you colored in on your very first stencil, and it just is so easy. So here we've got our images all cut, and those came out so pretty. I just love these. And those stitch marks, look, we've got little stitched snowflakes on there, and that is so cute. And this spring, I just love that. We've got stitching on the rainbow, on the grass, on the rolling hills, and our tulips. And that fall came out just beautiful also. So let's move these aside and work on our cards. So for our cards, I have got a couple different panels here, and we are turning these cards into a set. So I'm going to have all 4 be the same layout, but just different pictures and different sentiments. So we've got the embroidery hoops, which is also new. I am using the smaller of the embroidery hoop, and then we've got the little pin right there. I went ahead and I die cut that 3 times from white, once from gold foil paper, and my pin is in silver. Then we've got our nested rectangle postage edge. I used the second from the largest. I also did that out of gold foil paper. And then I brought in my joyful day. I used the press plate that I hot foiled with, and then the stencil. So I hot foiled in gold, or not the stencil, I'm sorry, the die. I hot foiled in gold, and then I die cut that out. And then for my white pieces, this is 4 by 5 1/4. And this little one, I didn't even measure. I just cut it to fit inside that stitched area. And I dry embossed these 2 images with the Lush Vines. Now I know the Lush Vines has retired, but you can use anything that you have in your stash. So I am going to just assemble my pieces here, just in this order. I will also glue on my leaves, and then we will continue. So for my white layering piece on the gold foil, I just adhered to that directly. But for my postage piece, I did add foam tape to the back of that. So let's just center this. Then for my floral piece, we're just going to kind of fluff that up just a little bit. Most of it will get covered, but I do want the edges to have a little bit of fluff to them. Then we can just add some glue to those. I added some glue to my embroidery hoop, and we are just going to position that right about there. We can also add our other little leafy image here underneath that hoop right there. I think that's good. And then we can add one of our seasons. And I am just adding glue to the back of that because we've got dimension on our hoop, on our embroidery hoop. So I wanted this to go flat. Now we can add a sentiment. I've got 4 sentiments here. And I used my Spellbinders Always and Forever sentiment strip. This is my favorite. And I had a whole bunch that were already gold foiled on black. So I just went through there and I grabbed some of those. And I think we will just add our sentiment to the bottom. I've got foam tape behind my sentiment. And that is cute. I've already got 3 other backgrounds done. I just need to add my sentiment and my image. And there we have 4 cards to hand out as a gift set. We've got spring, summer, fall, and winter. And I just think those came out so cute. So we got 4 cards from 1 stencil set. Please be sure to leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much for spending time with me, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.